B. Frank Network.
Welcome to the Happy Never After podcast. I'm your host, Mara Merrick. I'm very depressed. One of my ideas just got shot down.
It's a bad idea.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Tell them
It's
your
so
idea.
fun.
Do you want to tell them your
no,
idea?
because I want to start pranking comics during their shows.
Okay.
It'd be so funny for me.
Just let that sit. Let them think. Let them think about that. You want to start, me. No offense. and this is just only for a lack of a better word, a nobody want to start pranking other nobodies. Nobody's going to watch that show.
I don't want to. I'm not talking about doing it for like a
It's
show.
just for fun?
Just for me for fun.
But also, and I was telling you this outside, and I'll just tell it for the recording, is that not only is that like a bad idea, but you'll just be out of comedy. Like that's what I was saying. Like if you want to,
What if I give like a ton of comics work? Like if I
they'd have to really
depend on me
the
monetarily.
The show would have to be very successful.
Damn
Because
it.
comics are
And it's just not because you guys aren't sharing this enough.
yeah, spread the word. All right, we have a 5-year plan here. All right,
Maybe
and
15.
so far we're in year 3, and it hasn't even started.
I should probably intro you.
Intro me, yeah.
Okay, Brendan Sagalow is here.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. You have a podcast. You have 2 podcasts.
I had a podcast. I had like a
what
solo
happened?
I just stopped doing it.
Why? It was so good.
It got boring. It got so
well,
boring.
I was bored.
And
I didn't listen.
yeah. Well, my whole career is boring. But I had that one blip at Caroline's, and then I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out. But
I'm kidding. It was actually really good.
no, it was okay. It had its fans, but I was just bored with it. Like I was like, what am I doing? I caught myself yawning so much on it, and like every episode, I'm like, should I stop doing this? Like I would say it I'm like, should I stop doing this? Can you guys convince me? And then I'd be like, it's not your job to convince me to do it. That would happen almost every episode. And then I was like, all right, this is a shit or get off the pot thing.
Yeah.
Because like I want to just move on. Let's just move on. It wasn't that good. It wasn't growing.
You can evolve out of things.
Exactly.
You're growing.
So now I have a
You're
new
changing.
podcast with another person.
It's like you have one of those twisty dicks for a duck now.
Yes.
Instead of just a regular straight on, can't get it in her.
Yeah, I have a pigtail dick now. So now I have a new podcast called Garbage Days with Scott Chaplin.
What is that about?
It's just 2 guys that are really figuring things out. I know that's everything. Two white guys saying that. But what I like about me and Scott's chemistry is, and I was listening to an episode because we just put out an episode yesterday, and I was listening to it. I was like, man, every sentence is trying to make the other person laugh. Every single sentence. So we say like really, not fucked up things, but we say something to go like, is that funny? Like we're both competing with trying to make each other laugh. And I was like, this is a crazy episode. Like every single sentence was like, ba 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 ba, do 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 do,
But it
ba ba
doesn't
ba
feel
ba.
pushed. Like
No,
you
that's
go
just what
on
I
a
realized.
date And the
Yeah.
guy's like, or the girl's like, I also can be funny, and then they are the not funniest person on the planet. And
Don't
you're like,
get me
"Please
started.
Shoot me in the head. I think that would be funny.
I wouldn't even go out on a date with a girl that wasn't funny.
Is your girlfriend funny?
She's funny in her own way. She's not like, she's sometimes she's surprising. I always like listen to these comics talk about like, or people like, people have like comics or actors that are like, my wife is way funnier than me, blah, blah. Like Rogan says that all the time, which might be true for him, but
I don't even know he was
kidding.
married.
I'm kidding. He's married. He's got a family. He's got dogs. He's got a wonderful life.
Dogs. I have a
got
dog. I don't have a wonderful.
Your dog's a sad dog.
My dog.
Your life is like a homeless person with a dog. No, but like all these comics that are like, my wife is so much funnier than me. It's like, no, she's not. Because all you're thinking about is being funny.
Yeah.
So there's no way they're funnier than you. My girlfriend's funny. Like, she'll surprise me. Where I'm like, oh, that was hilarious. And she's like funny in her own way. We're in a fight right now. So saying nice things about her.
It's tough. It's a challenge.
It was really tough. I feel fake. I feel phony doing it. I don't want to right now.
Why are you in a fight?
Well,
You guys are always in a fight.
No, we've been pretty good.
Okay.
I had this realization because I would tell people, anybody that asked if I had a girlfriend or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, on and off for 4 going on 5 years.
Yeah, a long time.
But we've been on for like a year, so I'm like, maybe I got to stop saying we're on and off. At what point do I say, like, am I going to be married to her? Like, yeah, my on and off wife, because we broke up twice. It was on and off.
It was big breakups.
That was a big breakup. Yeah. The first one was crazy. A little, everybody had fault in it, blah, blah, blah. I basically
happened?
I was like way more, I'm still a narcissist, but I'm like, I was way more narcissistic back then, and we were living together.
You had your growth.
Before I had my mature growth. In the last 4 shit can happen in a year. I know. Yeah, I'm an older man now.
I'm a woke man?
I'm a woke guy now. No, but a lot of shit can happen. You take shrooms, you rethink things. Yeah. I'm trying to be... Inner peace is very important to me.
About to go to an iboga, which is ayahuasca's sister plant.
Okay.
Cleansing for that to try and find inner peace.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's
you can do this
so.
cleanse with me. It's crazy.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
It includes mushrooms.
Do I have to go somewhere though? I hate when everybody's like, gotta go to the fucking desert to do ayahuasca or whatever the fuck that is.
Well,
it's like,
not
can I just
legal
do
in the
it?
States.
Yeah.
And you need to have
cocaine's not legal
You're,
here.
Yeah, I know, and I have some in my fridge. But I don't know why I put it in my fridge. I was like, this is a good spot. But I have Airbnbers coming, and I'm like, I have got to get that out of there.
Or keep it in there, and then if it's missing, add another little...
Yeah, then I can get rid of it.
Like a $50 tag. Yeah, you get rid of it, and you could get money from it.
I know.
If I went to an Airbnb, and I was like, babe, look at this.
Let's do it.
Holy shit, there's Coke in the fridge. This is awesome. That would be the best.
She's a great host.
5 stars for sure. This is gonna get 5 stars.
We love her. They call all the time.
Yeah,
like,
we
love you so much.
You write a review in all caps with no spaces in the words. Oh my God, Mara's like the best host in the world. We should start a business. Start a business with you.
Like, no, you just did my good Coke.
Yeah, you just did my only good Coke. Make them feel bad.
Okay, so yes, you're finding inner peace.
I'm just trying to. It's so fucking hard. Just try to find an inner peace to be. Well, I'm going to therapy. I love therapy so much. It's made me such a better person.
Okay.
And but I want my girlfriend to go to therapy. I'm always like, can you go to therapy? I know that's kind of rude, but like, she's got her fucking own issues. Everybody does. I think everybody should be in therapy.
Yeah.
At least find somebody to talk. And I know that it's hard. Her whole thing is like, I have to find someone who's specific for me and blah, blah, blah. All these...
It's also just bullshit excuses.
It's bullshit excuses. Because that's not hard. I found my therapist on the first try. Like, it was a little rocky in the beginning. Yeah. Yeah. My therapist is a trash can. My therapist is a dead owl that I found. And he listens.
He's starting to smell a little bit.
But so am I. So we're perfect for each other. And so I'm going to therapy, and I'm trying to be and I'm working hard on my craft, and I'm just trying to be as inner. I have some inner peace because it's like, everything is so fucking annoying, and these. We got trolls now, like online trolls. Yeah. It's so much harder to be happy now because, I feel like in the 90s or whatever, like when you weren't on Twitter, you can go inside. You're having a shitty day. You can go inside, you watch TV or whatever. But now it's like you can't even be inside without someone like, ping, you're fucking fat. And I'm like, thank you. Listen to my podcast, Garbage Days, on iTunes and Spotify. Yeah, whatever, tits. So it's like, it's really hard. But I guess
Are people doing that to you?
They're not saying that, but people are mean. And
Was that your own inner tweet to yourself?
Yeah, I tweeted myself that.
I know, I'm like...
It's in my bio. It's just Brendan Sagalow, tits, in the bio. That's all it says.
Well, yeah.
People are so mean. And I used to, go after them, too. Mm-hmm. I would always reply back. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what am I doing? This is, what a waste of time. And... I'm very much in tune with what's embarrassing now for artists or whatever, comics. It's so easy to be embarrassing if you do anything outside of just be funny and do your art. Because if anybody's like, you know, when the SNL Shane Gillis thing happened, of course everybody had their own take on it, and I had a take, and I was like tweeting, and I was angry, and I'm mad about this and that. And I deleted every single tweet, and I was like, first of all, I'm not that close with that guy, so what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And secondly, this is just embarrassing. Just shut up. My favorite people in the world, you never hear about them. My favorite artists in the world, you never hear about them until their art comes out. You know what I mean? Like Eminem, you don't hear anything from him. He is such a Sasquatch. He posted a picture of a dollar, like the one thing, and he wrote B and R, so it said boner. And he just posted that to Twitter, which is the first thing he posted to Twitter in a month or two. And people lost their fucking minds. And if he was just always doing that, people would be like, that's Marshall. But it's like people and they're like, what does that mean? What's happening? Is he coming out with another album? What could that mean? It's like, no,
he's like, no, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's just funny. But you don't hear much from him.
Maybe he got that dollar and then he thought it was like somebody else did it and he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I never saw this shit before.
So funny.
I forget that he talks like a rapper. I always think he's going to talk like me, but I know if I was in a room with him, he'd be like, what's up, dog? How you doing, man? And I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, yeah, you talk like that.
That's your voice.
Yeah. And then there's also guys like, you know, I'm not a huge fan, but I respect Bo Burnham in this way that's like, I think he's so fucking good, and everything he puts out is like art, where it's like, whoa, this is, I mean, I don't know if you've seen.
But you're not alone in that. I mean, he's got a huge following.
You think? No. Wait. Bo Burnham?
You won't answer my call. I mean, like,
yeah. Okay, well, that explains a lot of seen text messages. But he's like that. He fucking moves in silence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't hear shit from him, and then he has a special on Netflix, and you're like, oh fuck, yeah.
Oh, you were working.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the. Well, I have a different take. Like my social media is my whole life. I'll put all
Jesus
of my
Christ.
parts of my whole life on there. Not like, oh my god, I got my period.
I have a different take. My social media is my entire life.
No, not like that.
I owe everything to Twitter, and I couldn't really see it without it. But anyway, where are you going to be?
No, I just put up, like, I'll put up a little bit of training. I'll put up a little bit of, like,
yeah,
like, here's, because a lot of people are like, oh, you can't show that you have a job. I'm like, we live in fucking New York City. Of course I have
Everybody's
to have a job.
got a fucking job.
I want to live my bougie life still. I have a lifestyle that I want to maintain. So
you don't have to post about it. Or unless that's a part of your work. Like, do people see that and they go, "Hey, can you train me and stuff?" Like they hit you up.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, then
I get
you
a
gotta
new
fucking
client
do
once
that.
a week just off Instagram.
Yeah, you have to do that
Yeah.
too, because that's what I heard. Like a lot of trainers have to be on Instagram and
And I
stuff.
have a new show coming out. That's a
you
new
prank
YouTube
comics.
show. Well, not anymore. You ruined that dream.
Yeah, you're never really going to do it with the full enthusiasm that you had, because you just know that I'm going to be looking at it going,
I know.
what
I
is
thought
she
it was like
doing?
the most fun idea ever because Mike always does stuff to you.
Mike loves to prank me and stuff,
but like little ones.
Little
Like
pranks
little
and
babes.
stuff. But like with
I'm talking about big pranks.
Yeah, big pranks. With your show,
production.
And I told you this, it's just going to be a bunch of comics going, okay, like on stage going like, what's happening right now? Okay.
And then me just crying, laughing in the corner.
You really have to. Yeah. There was this thing on College Humor, and then and we'll get back to what the point of the podcast is. But there was this. Do you remember this? This was like 10 years ago, where Streeter Seidel, I think that's his name, and that other guy. There were two College Humor guys that always did videos together. They had like a prank war. And it like got bigger and bigger and bigger, and you know, from like something like, I don't know, him replacing milk in the fridge to them jumping out of a plane and them paying the guy to be like, the shoot's not working,
God.
to the other guy. And one of the things that they pranked him was Streeter was doing stand up at like UCB East or something, and
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And you know, for a building that didn't pay its comics, you think they'd be still around.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
I'm just
what
kidding.
were they paying for?
I don't know. I don't have a stance on it. I don't care. If they booked me, I would do the shows for free. I still do shows for free, so it's fine.
I paid a $30 cab to go to Creek, didn't get paid, and then took a $30 cab back. So I paid $60 to do comedy last
that's
night.
on you. That's on you.
I was tired. I was
I'll write a homeless person for free to a show if it saves me money. But they had this. He was doing stand up, and the other guy paid a heckler to like go, just keep going. You're fat. And he'd be like, you're fat. Just kept saying that. He's like, just keep saying that. And Streeter fucking lost his, he couldn't handle it. He I think he got it one. He was like, thank you, sir. On the first one was like, that's a weird heckle. Like he was pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
But when somebody, listeners, if you want to heckle a comic, just keep saying that one thing over and no matter what. They'll lose their minds because the comics are like, okay. Like I've said everything I can to this heckle and you keep saying the same thing. So he's like, you're fat. You're fat. And then he's like, can we get this guy out of here? Like, he like got so mad. So it's like, I guess that's kind of like your show.
Yeah.
Your show idea.
Somebody already did my show idea.
Yeah, but it was on College Humor.
No, this is a different show idea. This is me training comedians. So I'm actually personal training comedians. So fitness does have a part of that also.
And have you started like filming and stuff?
I did, yeah. I did 3 episodes and I put up a little teaser.
Did you get any like names or is it like Remy Casimir?
It is exactly Remy.
It's Remy? That's so funny.
Actually, she was so funny. She was with Chloe LeBranch on one episode.
Both hilarious.
Both hilarious.
They're so funny.
And then they worked out together. And then Derek Humphrey and Karen Fian, which was, oh my God, Derek fell doing a very simple exercise. He goes, I'm not a physical comic. I'm just standing here. And then he goes to like use a TRX and then he just spins around and falls all the way down.
Oh my God.
I was laughing so hard. I just walked off this whole set.
Gold.
I was like, this is so great.
Yeah, that's great.
Samir, Nassim, and Evan Williams were in
That's
it.
great.
Oh my God, they were so great. And then
very funny people.
Marie Anderson from Difficult Women and Reform Tours. And her podcast partner, Michael Munoz, came in. He's more of a Broadway guy. But
it's funny, though.
It was great.
Good idea.
It was so funny. So we have some real episodes. That was just to make the teaser.
You just train them?
I just train them. I just ask them what their goals are.
I will do that show. I'd do that if you'd have me.
It's for sure I would have you. And then they come into the gym.
Puke.
It's like a real session.
Ugh.
It's
I'll do it. Fuck it. Why not?
I know. So I'm going to start putting them up in the episodes up in December. But I want everyone to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. But yeah.
I've done like everything besides like working out. And, like I've done shows where it's like you get hammered or show like everything else. And none of those seem scary. But doing a show where like someone like a professional trainer is training me seems like something where I'm like, well, I can't do that. That would hurt me.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It ends up to be really fun. But yeah, and that's actually turned out to be great. So those are going up on my...
Subscribe.
Yes, please. Anyway, so let's get back to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So you got into a fight.
We're in a fight right now.
What was the fight?
Oh, it's so complicated. Like you wouldn't even really understand it. And also just out of respect for her, I'm not going to get into details.
Okay.
But it was a lot of like...
Or maybe it's your fault and you don't want to talk about it?
No, I always admit when it's my fault. But I had called her to tell her something, like a story that happened to me that involved a place that she used to work at.
Okay.
And I just kind of wanted it to be a story where she listened, you know, and didn't really give me advice, which is like kind of relationship 101. That's like something you learn in a relationship where you're like,
just shut the fuck up.
One person at one point is going to say, I don't want advice. I just want you to listen.
Yes.
And that's like, okay. And I didn't say that, which is my fault. But she kind of started hitting me with advice. And then she got insulted that I hadn't called her right away. Like I called her hours later. And I was like, this is just a store. What are you doing? And she got very mad. And, you know, she took it very personally. And, of course, I find myself apologizing after that. You know, I'm at the park at like 2 a.m. being like, okay, you know, I'm sorry I said this. I'm sorry. I'm big on apologizing and meaning it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you know, some people, and I'm trying to get my girlfriend out of this, she thinks if you apologize all the time, it means nothing. But we're flawed humans. So I'm going to apologize for the things that I do wrong and I'm going to mean it. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I could just tell this bitch sorry, and then she'll get off my fucking back. Like, I don't apologize to everybody. Like, I'm not apologizing just to let, when I apologize, I mean it, and I say it a lot. And that's just the way my life is. I go, I'm sorry, and she goes, oh, well, that doesn't. Anyway, well, we got in this big argument. I realized, her problem was with when we were living together a couple years ago, and she worked at this job. She would tell me about it, and I was just kind of not there, and that kind of came out. That's what she figured out about the whole thing was like, you didn't know that I did this specific thing because you weren't listening. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I know other stuff about you. I remember a lot of things. I don't remember this specific thing, and I'm sorry. Like, I was like, okay. And then I'm in bed last night, and we're talking, and I legitimately went, I'm sorry I didn't remember that thing. And we both were saying, and, when we get into an argument, she was saying, my biggest pet peeve is when you're in a relationship with someone, and they say, like, and they don't, people argue. I understand that. Yeah. But when you turn it into something where you go, fuck you, when it becomes that, when you go, fuck you, when you're an asshole, name calling,
yeah.
shit like that, like, threatening to leave, when it becomes shit like that, that's just not nice.
It's pretty volatile. Yeah.
It's volatile, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not nice. It has nothing. It doesn't push the argument in any way. It doesn't. If I'm in an argument with someone like my girlfriend, the point is I want us to figure this out. That's the point. It's not an argument. This is something that's going on with us right now, and we have to figure this out.
I didn't do I just broke up with my boyfriend a month ago, and I didn't do any of those "fuck you, you're an asshole" anything till the very end.
I never do it unless they do it to me. Which is like...
That's a little retaliatory.
Well, that's the thing,
Inner
yeah.
peace boy.
But I'll admit it. I'm a peace boy. But I'll admit it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if I never start that. I never go like... Even if I feel it, which I do, sometimes I'm like... I'll have like a sentence where... when you're so mad, you're going like a mile a minute, and you're saying everything... consonants and precisely... And even in that... I'll feel myself going, you fucking bitch. And I just don't, because I'm like, there's no going back from that. And to me, there's no going back from that.
Right.
At least without an apology. You could say, I'm sorry I called you those names. But so she said, like, fuck you and stuff. And every time we've ever argued, that's the thing that sets me off. And she knows it. So I go, don't talk to me for the rest of the night. You don't get to say fuck you like I'm a piece of nothing.
Right.
Like, I'm your boyfriend. You're supposed to love me. You allegedly love me, right? So why are you, why would you call me an asshole? Why are you there? Whatever. So towards the end of the night, we're kind of apologizing. I'm apologizing, and we're talking it out. She's telling me how she feels. I go, okay, now I kind of get where you're coming from. I'm sorry that I didn't remember this thing about you. I remember other things about you, though. And I care about you, and, I don't... Because sometimes she just doesn't think I care about her. And I'm like, I don't know what else I can do to show you I care about you and still have a life of my own.
Yeah.
Like, if it were up to her, I'd be kind of like by her side with like a purse in my hand. I'm exaggerating. She wouldn't want that. She's cool for the most part. But when it's like, and we've had arguments where I go, you got to stop thinking I don't give a shit about you. Because like, that's not true. So, So whatever, we're getting down. I'm like, I'm sorry, I care about you, blah, blah, blah. We're in bed. We're in bed on the phone. This was last night. And she goes... Wait,
you don't live together anymore?
No.
Okay.
After the first breakup, I moved out.
Okay.
And went to Queens.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Well, Queens, sorry for Queens or sorry for the breakup?
Sorry for Queens.
Yeah, we all can't have successful training careers, I'm a peasant who lives in Astoria.
Anyway, where are you going to be out this weekend?
I'm at Woo-Ha-Ha in Boston.
Okay, so keep going. Yes.
So anyway,
so you're in bed.
I'm in bed, and I say I'm sorry that I forgot that stuff, and I'm sorry the way I acted when we were on the phone. And she goes, okay, and then I'm like, I go, you never really apologized to me for. I go, those things that you said hurt me. And she was like, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh,
that's what she said. I'm sorry that you feel bad. And I go,
she gave a real white man apology.
Yeah, I guess so. She gave a white something. Because a black guy would be like, can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? But I was like, well, that's not good enough. I go, you said things that hurt me, and I really just want an apology. That's all you have to do. That I think it started with, all I ever want is an apology. That's what I said to her, and she's like, what am I apologizing for? And I'm like, well, you said some really mean things to me. You said that you'd break up with me. You said, fuck you to me. You called me an asshole. And she's like, well, I meant all that. And I'm like, sure, of course. We mean a lot of the things we say in fights. And I'm not asking you to say, I don't mean it. I'm not asking you to take back what you said. I'm just asking for a simple apology. It can't, and she just couldn't do it. And she's like, I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm going to apologize that you feel bad. And I go, do you understand what you're saying? I'm like, you understand that saying, like, I was like, this is very cliche. Have you ever watched a movie where someone's like, I'm sorry, thank you, that you're sad? Like it's a backhanded apology that takes no responsibility for the things that you've said. And I'm not, she couldn't.
And you just want your own feelings validated also.
Yes. And she couldn't wrap her head around she couldn't wrap her head around the difference between I'm sorry you feel bad and I'm sorry for the things I've said.
For her actions.
Yeah, and I just kept going in a circle, and she was like, we're just talking in a circle. I don't know what you're talking. I'm like, because this is insane not to get.
Right.
I'm like, have you never been in an argument where at the end of the argument you turn to a friend, you turn to anybody? I've never had this. That's why I was like, and I was like so taken aback that I was being pretty condescending. I think it was the first time I've ever heard myself mansplaining, where I was like, no, like it was a out of normal personality that I was giving to her, which might have been what was kind of turning her off. Mm-hmm. But I was like, no, you understand, blah, blah, blah. Like I was kind of talking to her because it had taken me back so much that I was like, you can't just say, she's like, even if I don't mean it, I'm like, yeah, that's what a relationship is. I tweeted this, but I said, if everybody in the world never apologized when they didn't actually mean it, the world would be an angry place of people just fist fucking each other every day. You have to apologize sometimes when you don't mean it, just to go like I've gotten into a fight with a friend where you go like, fuck you scumbag or whatever, and then at the end of the fight you go,
sorry, man.
Yeah, you go, hey, I'm sorry I called you a scumbag. I'm sorry that I did this. That's all it takes. I'm sorry that I called you a scumbag. I'm sorry I said fuck you to you. That's all it takes. And she was so hung up on some sort of pride, some sort of something where, and this was the last conversation we had where and she was like, I have to go to, this was 3:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I have to get up in like 4 hours. So I'm like, this has to end, but I'm like, but we should flush this out because this is bad. I'm like, we've gotten into arguments before, but you not being able to admit, hey, I'm sorry, is like, that's like one of those things where it's like, can we come back from this?
Yeah.
If you can never say sorry, can I?
Is this the quality of character that I want to spend the rest of my life with?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't want to reveal too much out of respect for her because, again, we're comics, so we don't give a shit about talking about our personal lives. She's very private.
Right.
And I want to leave it like that.
Yeah.
This is something that's happening to me, though, so I think there's like an opening. I think there's like there's some sort of, there's some sort of, what am I trying to say, loophole?
Yeah,
there's a loophole.
A little bit, yeah. So it's very gray here.
But it's the first time I've ever dealt with somebody that literally, I said to her, I started laughing because I was like, in the movies, that's the thing that's like a joke. And the person who says, I'm sorry that you're upset, not I'm just plain sorry, is like the person who's supposed to be mean, the villain in that interaction.
Yeah.
And she goes, this isn't a movie. And I go, yeah, but do you not understand? Like she pulled some shit that was like, this is something you should talk to your therapist about. And I go,
what?
And I go,
you needed to get a therapist and talk to a therapist about it.
That's what I said. I went, this is the one thing I'm sure of. That's what I said to her. I went, out of all the things that we've ever gotten into a fight with, this is the one thing I'm sure of. I would like an apology for the mean things that you said to me, the things that hurt my feelings. And you can't give that. It's like, I'm talking like we're broken up, but I'm fresh off of this fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Sometimes it feels like a breakup when you have a fight like this. But things like this, you can come back from.
Of course.
Yes.
It always feels like a breakup. And I used to do that thing where I would make it a breakup, immediately go, so then what are we doing? Let's just end this. And every single person in my life was like, don't do that. My therapist was like, you can't do that.
Also, I feel like it's like an indicator of how you value yourself and how you're like, things, I don't deserve a relationship or I don't deserve love. And so I'm going to sabotage this and this is going to be my out. So this is like...
Yeah,
this
of
is
course.
This is
I'm always looking...
you showing
I'm always
you.
looking for the out in my own little
You're
way.
showing your cards here.
And I've always had this problem since I was in school, and my mom loves telling me this. She's always like, you get very overwhelmed and you get angry. And when you're overwhelmed, you're angry. And I'm like, yeah, so that comes up a lot. And when I'm overwhelmed, I love quitting,
Okay,
you know?
all right.
I love quitting.
So you are a comic.
Yes. Well, that's the one thing I should quit. That apparently I just can't. So, yeah. So I get very stressed and I'm like, fuck this. I want to quit. I don't. And my therapist was like, that's the opposite of what you should be doing. Yes. You should be tackling the problems. Mm-hmm. And since then, I've been doing that, and he's just changed my fucking life. This therapist. But this is, I don't know. It's very strange that. I don't know. So I stopped doing that, but the whole thing about being like, well, what are we doing? Let's just end it all now. Until yesterday, where it was like, I kind of alluded to it in the where I'm like, we got to figure this is a real problem.
Yeah, this is like deep level.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, we're arguing about something like before that, where it's like, okay, she felt bad. She felt little. She felt like I didn't care about her. And I'm not taking those feelings away, although a part of you wants to go, that's not true.
Right.
I don't know what else I can do to prove to you that that's not true besides putting a goddamn ring on your finger. But then what's stopping you from being like, oh, you don't love me again when we're on our honeymoon or whatever,
Yeah.
So I don't know what else I can do. I need somebody who knows that I love them because of the actions that I have and not the things that I don't do. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it does. I had a my best friend used to play for the Chargers in San Diego, just huge.
Who are you? Who are you? Why do you know all these people?
I was in sports my whole life. You get to know people when you're...
I feel like you're going to have a story where you're like, I knew the DP on Cheers. And
I'm not that old.
I couldn't think of anything. I was going to say Will and Grace, but I was like, did I say
Cheer?
Will and Grace before? I go for whatever's funny, okay? If it sounds funny coming out, I'm going to say it.
You're going to go for it.
I knew the executive producer on Teen Angel. And do you remember Teen Angel?
No.
From TGI Fridays? That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. I think it only had like 9 episodes in the 90s. It's about a guy who had a best friend who ate a really bad burger under his bed and died, and then became his angel, basically.
So
like
don't
his.
eat the hummus that I left out last night.
I'll eat whatever the fuck I want. I'm ready to die.
I am too.
I'm coming
just
fresh off of an argument.
Well, he pulled me aside. He was like my first therapist because when I was first married, my parents, when I was growing up, my parents called me Jenny. That's my middle name, and my middle name's Jennifer. They called me Jenny. And when
they wouldn't call you your first name, your parents.
My dad. So everybody's a version of Mary. My first name is Mara. And so it's so everybody just gets called by their middle name. So it's just like a very Irish thing that they do. I think. And,
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I grew up Jenny McBeasley. Is what they called me. And then when I got married the first time, Mara Miller was a very popular porn star. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep Jennifer. So I went by Jennifer Miller, and then I was kind of like a weird...
How many names have you had?
A lot. So I had a troll that was like, I looked you up on your triathlon records, and I didn't see anything. I was like, what years are you looking at? Because I got to give you the correct name.
Yeah, I have about 9 social security numbers.
Same social. I wish they'd give me a new one.
Oh, my God.
Need to get a house. So when I got this pep talk from my friend who was on the Chargers, because I was a little bit of a disaster as Jen Miller. A little wreck-a-doo.
That's why you changed your name. You're like, well, I was all Jen Miller. Now I'm Kelly Capoue.
He would Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. He was like, listen, I know you want to move. I know you want to do all these things, but that's what you always do. That's a very Jen Miller move. You want to just run from it. He's like, but you need to stay here, and you need to face the issue, and you need to Mara Merrick it. And I was like, I think Mara Merrick's still into the running. I was like, that's why I'm still on my bike.
Yeah. But do you still believe that those names have any correlation with things that you used to do?
Well, Miller was my married name, so yeah, I used to be married. And
no, but I mean like him being like, that's a very Miller thing. I want you to do a Mara thing, okay?
I mean, yeah, I guess I associate my old days of being a little crazy.
If I may,
Please.
I think that's toxic.
That I associate?
Yeah, because you are you.
I am
You're
me,
never
yes.
not you.
I'm always going to be me.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Jenny, Mara, Kelly, Grandma, whatever names you had, Groucho.
I was a grandma for a couple weeks.
That's crazy.
My first husband, we accidentally got remarried. The state of California made us remarried again, and his son just had his second baby, and I was like,
Whoa.
am I a grandmother?
Your grandma.
I was a grandma for a week.
Wow.
I know.
Weird.
He was trying to get remarried.
You were gilf. Whoa.
I know.
But I think that's all those ladies, unless at one point you were also a man. You're like, well, there's Jenny, there's Mara, there's Grandma.
I do golf,
Brett.
Cycle.
I was Brett once.
And road. So
They all have the same blood type and the same. They're all the same person. So it just seems like toxic to be like, that's a, it doesn't seem like a healthy thing to be like, that is not what. Because what if, okay, so now you're Mara. Oh, well, Mara breaks windows. So I can't do Jenny things, but Mara, it's like, you're the same person.
Well, I do get hypnotized to get rid of PTSD.
Okay.
And one of the last week's exercises was I was supposed to put the people that have ever done wrong things to me in like this room and acknowledge them and then just say goodbye and walk away from them.
Oh my God.
And I could put Jen Miller in that room. Huh?
Well,
and then walk away from her.
But
she was blonde.
Yeah, but you are her.
Oh, fuck.
You can't walk away from you.
Every time I'm here.
There
you are.
That's what my therapist would say. I think he would say that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to be anybody else other than me because
Well, you can't because you're not.
Right.
You are you. We could all just go by person A.
I know.
What does it say on your birth certificate?
Mara Jennifer Merrick.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you. That's what
Yep.
your parents named you.
Yep.
And now 20 names later,
So many
we're
names.
back. It's a lot of names, a lot of lives.
Every time I got married, I was like, I am not changing my name again. Because every time I'd change it and get all the cards, then I'd get divorced. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
This
That's kind
wasn't
of
worth it.
Yeah,
I got to go back to the DMV.
Oh my God. That's crazy. How many times have you been married? Three times? Three times?
3 times. 7 times engaged.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it? Do guys just fall in love with you, or is it you
not
that's
the
like?
last one, but the
That's the one that got away. The one that doesn't love you is the one that got away. Always.
Oh, he did not get away. He's still
very much around.
Very much around and won't leave me alone. Also, the girl that he cheated on me with
Oh Jesus.
is stalking me hardcore, is trolling me. I know, I had to go to the police. It was crazy.
Wow.
Like, she's crazy.
My problems seem like nothing. When you're like, I'm like, yeah, me and my girlfriend got into a fight
No,
because
I think
she won't apologize properly. And you're like,
I'm
oh,
afraid
the girl.
for my life.
Yeah, you're like, oh, my last boyfriend who I love cheated on me, and now she's stalking me. But yeah, get your apology. I mean, she did apologize, but not in the way I wanted. How fucking
Thank you for coming.
It's over? No. Oh, it's just a running gag. I was like, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, no, I've already talked about this. I don't want to bore my listeners, but yeah,
we
she
can talk about
won't
me.
leave me alone. So
That's crazy. What's her name? Oh, you don't want to say.
Amanda Lappner.
Oh.
Amanda S. Lappner.
Oh, my God. Listeners.
This is the first time I've said it on the podcast.
Fight her.
At this point, I will.
Well, she's listening because she's stalking you.
Yep. Hi. How
So
are you?
she's-
Your nose is humongous.
Aw.
And no, I'm just kidding. It is. And
It is. It's fucking huge.
no, I won't say anything more mean anymore.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Well,
No, I
good
mean,
for you. That's
obviously she has like mental issues because
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do with her life.
for sure. This is more her problem than a you problem.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not anybody. Like she's not anybody. Let's just not be anybody's apart.
Yeah. Let's just die. You know.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going until dead.
Until dead.
Yeah.
And I hope that's right around like 62 because I feel like I can afford surgery until then.
Yeah.
And then after
Okay.
that, it's going to be too hard to
I'm
lift
never
and
getting
talk.
surgery.
What?
I'm never doing it.
You should. You should start now.
It's all perfect. I get a lap band. I should get a
No.
gastric bypass. Both my mom and my sister got a like lap band or something, and my mom's
Okay.
like, "Do you want to do that?" And I'm like, "No, I'll be fine. Okay? Let me lose it. I'm not putting something inside my body."
Plus you're a guy. Guys can lose weight like
Real quick.
nothing. It's so
I'll
annoying.
get a salad today, real quick. If I have 2 salads in a week, I lose like 10 pounds.
You suck.
I know.
So bad.
Yo, you guys
I just
got
had to go to
tits.
like a horrific breakup where all of my sense of security was gone, and then I was like so skinny. You know?
Mm. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Every time I
I'm
go
so
through a
sad when
breakup,
I'm so starving.
oh yeah. Every time I go through a breakup, I look so fucking good. Last breakup I went through, I remember showing up to a party with like leather jacket. I'd lost like 5 pounds. New haircut that I've been trying to get, the same haircut. And it never happens. It was just like the best. I had like the Jimmy, you know, like the 1920s, like shaved sides
with the
this.
jacket.
Oh,
Hot.
I looked like fucking, yeah, it looked good. Dude, I look good.
You know what? You should come on the show. We should have on my personal training one,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can keep it up, and then we'll do like a recap. Like we'll do 3 months out, and you can show your afters.
Okay.
You'd have to be having like a salad twice a week for like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you talk to my manager. Okay, talk to my agent.
I don't think you have management.
I have neither. I have neither management or agents.
They're useless. It's fine.
Yeah,
I had one. I had
yeah,
one
it's
of
pretty
each.
obsolete. I can't wait till I have a manager so I could say that having one is obsolete. Right now, I just kind of want one. I want someone on my fucking side.
I know. It's
That
really
isn't
nice
a comic, because comics are on your side, but they're also
until
like,
you get something, and then they're not on your side.
or you know, if it's up to you or them, comics are very much like, and so am I. It's like if it's up to me or somebody else, it's like right now I'm like, I'll cut your fucking throat to get on Fox on Laughs or whatever, Laughs on Fox. I will murder you.
God, that's a bad show. I
I don't think it's on anymore.
Oh yeah, bad.
Yeah.
They should have gone stronger, like up top. They should have hit it.
Yeah,
a little harder.
there was a real talent. There was a lack of talent in
Yeah,
that show.
that was a.
Yeah, it
yeah.
felt like 2-minute sad like
I got booked to
Speeches.
do this weird like popcorn thing. I think you also got booked to do it.
popcorn.
That was a new internet TV channel, and they were trying to do late night sets on it, and Jared Freed and I were on it, and both of us were like, let's just do throwaway material because this is such a shitty channel.
Yeah.
And then because everybody thought that, it was so shitty. Like the
Of course,
So it
yeah.
didn't-
You
it
can't go
didn't
into
go-
it being
yeah.
like, let's just do bad material.
you know, we did. I was
It's
like,
just going to be
I
bad.
think I did a joke like this my first week in comedy.
Oh,
I'll
God.
just do that joke. And
I
then-
never did that. No, I never did that.
Well, everyone was like, let's just do that because it's never going to air. So who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, you have to go harder. You have to invest. If you're going to do something, go for it.
That's what I always say.
What? Why'd you guys break up the first time?
Well,
You guys had a big breakup.
we had a big breakup. It was all over town. I was
It
telling
was.
I was just telling everybody because
Well,
I was
like,
also
how's your girlfriend? Because she was very much a part of your identity. She came with you a lot to
she did co-
shows.
she came with me a lot to things, to
Yeah.
places. I wouldn't say she was a part of my identity.
I mean,
And I think also,
kind of.
it was the first like
She came to
major
holiday
girlfriend.
things. She came
yes,
to,
yes.
Yeah.
She was like the first major girlfriend I had in years.
I'm just
So
gonna look for an ad copy while you talk. Keep
okay,
going.
so it was like the only reason I'm saying that I don't think she was around as much as you think is because that's kind of what broke us up in the first place. Is that I was kind of narcissistic. I was very much into my
What
own
were you
world.
doing that you think that you were narcissistic?
Well, I was just being a comic, you know, and it's I was just being I was going out every night. She was alone when we lived in Forest Hills. She was alone, just no friends out there, nothing and I'm out all night, coming home at 12, usually drunk. It wasn't a pretty scene, and I've been in that apartment alone.
Also, it appears like you're out having fun every night, which we do have fun as
Yes.
comics. But and then she's got FOMO, and it's
Of
not fair that
course.
you're not including her.
Yeah. You can't not admit that being a comic is a ton of fun. You go out and stuff, but now I'm putting in more work than I was then. Then I was just trying to show face places, just trying to get my fucking name out there, which you do a lot with drinking and going out and staying out and going out every night and going to the same places every night.
Eating at 1 a.m. with everyone.
And then coming home and she's asleep because she has to wake up at 5 a.m. because she has a real job. Mm-hmm. And we didn't see each other, and I didn't make any time. I was out every night just trying to make it, and
which you have to do.
That kind of drove her away, and then at that time she met a guy that was showing her attention and interested in her, and a guy with a real job, a guy with so I don't blame her. We actually talked about this recently too, where I was I'm still kind of hurt by this, but
Did she fuck him?
She left me for him.
Oh.
And whatever, that's just is one of those things that I guess happened. I am not 100% not to blame. I would leave me too.
Well, the act of cheating is not the big thing. It's like having a cold and your stuffy nose is showing. That's the cheating, is your stuffy nose.
But she wasn't cheating.
The deeper thing.
Not physically. She
Right.
was just kind of, I guess if it was some sort of cheating, it was more emotional because she was texting this guy. And I remember being like, who are you texting? It's 2 a.m. And then,
for women, emotional cheating, I think, is a grander thing because that's what we look for is security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, not to go through the whole story just because, I just don't want to. But, I saw some text messages that were a little inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And it just started to build to a point where I'm like, okay, we're done. We're done. This is done. Right. And I moved out. And then we started talking again and saying, and you know how that goes. And then we got back together. And then she moved out to the Hamptons. It's 3 hours away from Queens, where I lived.
Yeah.
And that was kind of tough for me. I was like, I can't,
Is she living in the Hamptons now?
No.
Okay.
And then I started going to therapy. I started going to therapy right after the first breakup. And then I kept,
How did you feel after the first breakup?
I was hurt, obviously. You're going to be hurt. And my fucking idiot, I was very verbal about it. So everybody was like, wait, you're getting back with her? They were like, what? And I'm like, you just don't get it. That's why I keep my mouth shut for the most part, except for this whole podcast. But
I got back with the very first day I did my bike ride, the very first day that I left, he went out with this other girl. Mm-hmm. The first day I was gone, and I got back with him.
It happens. Shit is complicated. It's
really
not,
is.
And
Feelings are
we're
not fluid.
and we're very weak people.
Yes. We just want love.
We just want love. And I can always forgive, and you know what? If people don't fucking if they think I'm a fucking pussy for that, then fuck them. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I want to be with her. So whatever. So I forgave her, and we talked, and then she moved out to the Hamptons, and it was just so much for me. And I would go to therapy, and I'd be like, this is a lot. I can't keep going out every weekend 3 hours. I don't even have that's a plan. You have to go out to the if I have spots.
Did you have a car?
No, I would take the jitney.
Oh, that's why it was 3 hours. I was like, it's an hour and a half.
From Queens?
Yeah.
Southampton?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's that's 2 hours tops.
2 hours in a car?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I did it a lot. So even in the jitney, or we would, when we started dating again, and we would go, her parents live in Long Island, so we'd go to her parents' house and pick some shit up, and then we go back out to the Hamptons. So I did the drive too, but the jitney's hard and everything, and I would say that to my therapist, and he'd go, boo-hoo. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's hard. And he's like, it's hard. He's like, you say you love her, it shouldn't be hard if you love her. And that kind of stuck with me. And then I was like, you know what? He's right. And I kept doing it. And then the more and more I was like, this is kind of hard. I was like, maybe I can't do this. So I again was like, shit or get off the pot. And I broke up with her. And she was like very distraught and like did not take it well. I've never broken up with anybody in my life. And that was like so hard. Because it's like crying. She's like, why are you doing it? We're on the phone because she lives in the Hamptons and it's a weekday. And, she's like, why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Like having to explain myself and just being like, I don't want to be this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't, it's very fucking hard to do that. To break someone's heart that you really like is like, not to be super
romantic.
gay about it, but not to be a hopeless romantic, but it's very hard. And then we got back together because
we're weak humans.
because we're weak humans who can't find love in any other place, I guess. No, it's like you break up and then you start like I would like sleep. I had some little one night stands or whatever where it's like you're talking to somebody and you're like, God, you suck. Everyone else sucks, and you're like, God, like you were the only person that didn't suck,
Yeah, and you might just like her, like Mark Gerber sometimes co-hosts with me, and he's a therapist. He's got his PhD, So he told me that it could just be the smell of her that you like. Like your smells work together, and so that's.
Well,
why.
I'll tell you right now, it's not the smell. She's a stinky bitch.
Stinky, unapologetic bitch.
That's the name of the episode. So, and then we got back together, and we've been together for like a year and a half, so it's like not on and off anymore or whatever, but, it's
I feel like this is work throughable, and I think maybe you just need to have somebody else say it to her in a way that she can understand. Like
100%.
This is why therapy. Maybe you guys should go to couples therapy.
I don't want to.
No,
We've done it. We've done it before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
And that you didn't like it?
Well, we didn't go to my therapist. She had been going to a therapist.
Well, you should go to an unbiased party. Like you can't go to somebody that you
is my
love.
boy.
Yeah, you can't. That's
can't go
not
to my
fair.
dude.
Yeah,
of course,
no.
of course. Well, no, we didn't go to my therapist. We went to this is when we were in Forest Hills. We went to her therapist, and not for nothing, but the therapist was kind of on my side. She was like, for whatever.
Even with her therapist?
Yeah, I think her therapist was like, you know what you got into. This guy's a comic, so he has to go out and blah blah blah. Blah.
Right.
And then we went bowling, and it was a good day. But I do think maybe she needs somebody else that isn't me to be like, just say you're fucking sorry.
Yeah.
What's the deal? Like,
do you value this relationship? Just say you're sorry.
Just say you're sorry. What's more important?
But now she says sorry. You're gonna be like, you don't even mean it.
I wouldn't say that. I would say thank you.
Thank you.
I would say thank you. Yeah, because I mean at that point
It depends
we were
on
arguing
her tone
with each
of
other.
Delivery also.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Well, like I mean, we got
Fine,
to a
I'll
point.
say it.
We got
I'm
to a point.
sorry.
I kept saying like, I don't even want an apology anymore. Like I said that to her last time. I'm like, that is out the window, obviously, because you're really. She kept saying back off, and I'm like, what am I doing? I just want to fucking apologize. It's like you are so against just saying I'm sorry because for some reason I don't know, but it was like it was wild. So we'll see what happens.
Can I do this quick ad?
Do the quick ad read.
Okay, thank you. Because
Breakups.com.
holiday is coming right now. Are you going to do Black Holiday?
Don't add me to your ads.
No, I'm not. Are you going to do you do Black, what is it called?
Black Friday?
Thank you.
Shopping? Yeah, I'm gonna
You
do it. I
do.
think.
I
No,
know.
I would go to the mall with my girlfriend and we'd do the Black Friday thing. I think we only did that twice, but
It's so crazy.
you can just order it online.
I know. And hey, thank you for that lead in. Joinhoney.com. Hell yeah. It is it's giving holiday gifts is great. Overspending on all those holiday gifts is definitely not. So why spend more than you have to? Finding the lowest price is easy if you have Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that automatically finds the best promo codes whenever you shop online. This means you always get the best deals without even trying on over 20,000 sites such as Amazon, eBay, J.Crew, Sephora, Expedia, Target, Best Buy, and more. Just got my ticket next week to Houston for gigs out there, so I just put them up on my Instagram. If you want to check that out, I'm going to be in Texas. Bought my ticket on Priceline and got another $18 off, so make sure to get joinhoney.com. That is it. Joinhoney.com/happy is the promo code. So you have to put that entire thing into your, what is it called? What's that thing? The URL line? The browser?
The promo code.
I know, but what's the thing that
Oh,
you
the
type in?
URL, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like the thing at the top of the page.
You know. You're just
know.
trying to play
You guys know what I'm
cute
talking
idiot
about.
girl. What's that thing?
Help me out.
What's that
I
thing
can't
with the
get
computer?
This. I can't get the jar open.
Yeah, exactly.
I can get the fucking jar open.
Yeah, you're doing that for what's that thingy? Oh my God,
I really didn't remember.
I say URL. Wow, Brendan, you're so smart.
It's joinhoney.com/happy. And just get on there and then buy all your holiday gifts through that, and it'll be amazing, and you'll save so much money. Or just buy everything for yourself, like I do. We don't do holiday gifts for our family, which is nice.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
You don't do holiday gifts?
Mm-mm.
We don't either. We do holiday gifts, but we go, what do you want? Which takes a whole thing. One year, I was just like, get me a bunch of gift cards. And that was the saddest Christmas that I've ever had, where you're just like, just a bunch of envelopes under the tree with like, it just says like Macy's gift card. And you're like, oh God, where's that Christmas song?
We do. When we were growing up, my mom sucks, but she really did holidays great. And we were poor, and so we would get one gift, and they were like a kind of a shitty gift, but it was like
Scratch off.
it was like she made me a Cabbage Patch doll. Like she made
Oh,
one.
no.
And she got tired of doing it, so she only put hair around the rim and then put it into a ponytail. So if you pulled the ponytail out, there would just be like hair and a bald head.
Oh my God, like a monk.
It was so weird looking.
Jesus.
That poor. But what we would do, she would plan this whole day of a game, like a scavenger hunt or Jeopardy, and then we would, like, somebody would win, and then they would get, like, a candy as the winner. But
this is
that's
very sad. This is a dark reality, a dark look into your. I feel like your Christmas gifts were like, Merry Christmas, Mara. It's a ghost costume. It's just like cut up. Your sheets cut up. These are my sheets.
These look familiar.
Yeah, but Halloween's right around the corner. 360-something days.
One time we got bunk beds, like all new furniture. My sister and I got new furniture for our bedrooms, but it didn't actually fit in the bedroom because we had dormers. We were in the attic. Mm-hmm. And so my brother got it all.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, we got to play a game, and that was fun.
Yeah, you got to play Jeopardy for a Twix bar.
Cry a little bit.
Merry Christmas, it's beginning to look a lot like you're just your mom's just lighting matches, drunk, throwing them at you.
What do you do for Thanksgiving? Speaking of,
I hate Thanksgiving.
I love sitting around and doing nothing.
Hate it
Okay.
Because I have to do two of them back to back because my parents are divorced.
Oh my God, that's what this podcast is about, divorce. We should have talked about that.
Well, what's to talk about?
Can you come back and do a part two?
Do a part two about my parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, or hopefully.
I knew that you didn't. I was like, either they're definitely divorced or he doesn't have a dad. Like,
I got a lot of
assumed.
breakup in my life. Yeah. I got a lot of people.
You sure do.
I got a lot of people leaving. Okay. Oh no. Give me a TV show, people. Okay, because I got a hole that it needs to be filled.
Yes.
And so far, open mics aren't cutting it.
But seriously, will you come back and talk about your parents?
Of course, yeah, okay. Of course.
Because that's the real premise of the show is divorce.
Well, we'll do a little tease. Is that my parents are I've got great divorced parent stories. The way they told me that they were separating is a story.
Don't tell it. We'll say
I'm not going to, but
okay,
I'm gonna pump up the story.
But both of us have to remember what we were talking about the last time.
Write it down in your phone. Remember to ask Brendan about separation story.
Maybe we should do it. We should record again super soon, and then we'll put it up as like a bonus weekend one.
What? Do you have a Patreon or something?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't believe in Patreon. For me.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say.
It's not. I don't have anything to offer that would be
of course.
Bonus content.
But it's not that you don't believe in it. You just don't. You believe in it.
It's not like Jesus and I can't touch him. It's like
it's not like abortion.
It's not a good thing for my podcast.
Well, it could be. I think it's the complete opposite. I think you do believe in it, but it should be good.
Yes, I don't have anything of value that I think people should.
Yeah, do a live episode. Put it on the Patreon. You know, but it's like you have to. The thing with the Patreon that sucks is you have to It doesn't suck, but it's what makes it harder is that, and more intimidating for me especially, is the Patreon has to be good. It has to be
great.
It has to be great enough where people will pay, even if it's $2 a month. It has to be good enough for people to do that. And it has to be different than the free thing that you're giving away.
Yes.
In a better way, too. I mean, maybe, but like it has to be worth it, and that's very intimidating to me.
I'm putting together a series, everyone, for how to keep your marriage together. And
That's
I
not a
have
bad
a bunch
idea.
of people that I already have scheduled recordings with. It's just that it's very hard to make appointments with celebrities. Brennan, easy. I asked him this morning. He was available.
I was there in a heartbeat. Well, I'm sleeping on the corner of Fifth Avenue, so I'm in a box on Fifth Avenue, so I got here right away.
I asked this guy on death row, and so coordinating that has been a little bit of a challenge.
What?
I know. He's
Is that
married.
real?
Yeah, he's married. And they've tried to kill him 3 times, like because he was up for it. But the amount of drugs that they could give him legally to kill him doesn't kill him.
What?
I'm not kidding. Out of Oklahoma.
That's
this guy,
crazy.
It's insane.
What do they
And
do? They just bring him out back and blow his brains out?
No, he just wakes back up.
Yeah.
Thanks for that last meal.
What's
That
up,
was
guys?
good.
Yeah, right? I got sleepies. In my eye.
Tryptophan, huh?
What time is it?
Do I gotta do work in the yard or what?
I had this crazy dream. It was nuts. I was back in high school, and it was the first day, and I couldn't find my classes, and it was just I had an anxious dream.
But I was still wanting to murder that one guy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Oh my God. So yeah, that and a few other semi-famous married couples. Because I feel like being famous and staying married is hard.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of what showbiz is going to parties and pretend and being a little kid. We're playing dress up, okay?
Yeah, we really are.
We're playing dress up. There are 9-year-olds that are building iPhones in a volcano right now. And we're
Thank
putting
you.
on.
My screen is cracked.
Sorry, Siri's not answering me right away. And it's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Get on
sorry.
it, Kung Pao.
Sometimes the magma gets in my ears, and I can't do what you want right away.
You're never getting on SNL.
And we're come on. That was a pretty woke take on it. If you really look past the satirical thing about it, it's pretty woke. And but showbiz is just look at us in tuxedos,
Yes.
acting, drinking, fucking, cheating. It's of course it's fucking hard.
Justin Timberlake is filming a movie right now, and there's this big thing because his co-star in the movie and him were holding hands. And
Oh my God.
yeah, not
That's all
on
fucking-
set, not anything. And I was like, it wasn't. Also, the picture of it was kind of like maybe she was showing him something. It wasn't. It's a
Yeah.
big, huge thing.
Yeah.
So the public sees that, and then also perpetuates the breakup because then it gets into Jessica's head about him cheating. It's like maybe he wasn't. What? That's
He
just
wasn't.
a weird
He
angle.
wasn't,
He loves
and-
Jessica so much.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know who loves who. Justin Timberlake has been famous since he was 6 years old.
I know.
He knows
I love
how
him.
he knows how to cheat. Okay, he's not going to get caught that easily holding hands in public with another woman.
Yeah, she wasn't holding his
especially when
dick.
you're Justin Timberlake. He's been cheating since NSYNC. He's been cheating since his. Yes, he's a
No.
fucking celebrity.
No.
They all cheat. He's in show
No.
business. They all cheat. Wouldn't you? You're a huge fucking. You're the man.
I wouldn't, and here's why. Because
And you're in music. And here's another thing: is his whole teenage years, he was pretending to be like this gangster. Like he had a little bit of gangster in him. So he's like, he's
You
the
had
fucking
that haircut
man.
for a little while. You had that haircut, that frosty tip.
The
haircut.
frosty tip. I got it right now.
It's not. It's more like blended.
Look, you know what this is for? And it's
I would never cheat because I don't want to put anyone through
because
that
you'd
pain.
end up marrying that person.
Yes. All of them at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Let's go to the.
But I'm
next
marrying
stage.
her as queen. You have a different name. But here's the thing, and society needs to catch the fuck up on what's going on because Trump does this. Everybody does this. it's fake controversy so that Justin Timberlake's movie will get more views.
I know.
He's doing it on purpose.
Yes.
You fucking idiots. Not you, but I'm getting mad that people can't see this, man. It's controversy, so people will buy the book.
And the only
so
reason
people will buy the movie.
I even saw that is because I was going through like all the puppy videos on search on Instagram, and then that came up in the middle, and I was like, "Why is this in the middle of my puppy search?" Like,
yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
I just want to see
With
like,
heartbreak.
I
Well, if
know.
it makes you feel better, it's all a publicity stunt.
It is.
I mean,
as are rap battles. As are.
I don't know about that, but rap
Come
rap
on.
battles?
Not like, when they have like one person puts a lyric in there to diss, like a
Yes.
diss track.
Oh,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Are
You mean like
fucking
diss
kidding
tracks.
me?"
I thought you meant
They
like-
just wanted to become bigger. So this is their way of not working with the person.
50 Cent did it. That's how he got big.
Yes.
That's how fucking
And he
Eminem
fucked
got
Chelsea
big because
Handler.
he dropped names. And it's, it's all fake controversy. Get over it, people. The guy's Justin Timberlake.
Don't give
He
him the
knows
heat.
how to be famous.
Yes.
All right? And he knows how to cheat.
Go see Honey Boy because Byron Bowers is in it and he
Yeah.
hasn't done any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go see Honey Boy.
Go
Don't
see Honey Boy.
Justin Timberlake.
Shia
movie.
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I love Shia.
I love Shia.
That's a big
Nelma
theme
Halal.
in me and Scott's podcast. Our love for Shia LaBeouf.
Really? Mm-hmm. Do you want to meet him?
No, of course. Why would I want to meet him?
You're like,
What
"Meet
we
here."
will have nothing in common. Yeah, I saw your five-finger death.
And that was good. You'd be like
You
one
good
of those
freestyle.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You're so awesome.
That was awesome.
Anyway.
Shia, what is that? French? What is your name, dude?
Okay, so where can people find you? This does have to wrap up because we're 15 minutes over.
I
the
know. I had so much fun
I
today.
did too.
Yeah.
It was so fun. We don't get to spend enough time together.
We'll do it again. We'll talk about
Yes.
divorce.
Yes.
Because
we'll actually get to the real premise of the show.
everyone I've ever known is divorced. And the real premise. Well, we hit it at some
little
points. You can follow me at Brendan Sagalow. Mm-hmm. That's, if you don't know how to,
I'll
it's
tag him in.
incredibly, what's the word?
Phonetic.
Phonetic.
Yes.
It can be more phonetic. Sagalow. SAGALOW.
Okay.
Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. And listen to my podcast, please. We're trying to get it off the fucking ground. It's Garbage Days.
Garbage Days.
Me and Scott Chaplin.
Yes. Scott's been a guest on this as well. So.
And reach out to me. Tell me if you think I'm wrong about the apology thing. I think this is the one thing that I'm like, nah, I'm completely right about this.
100% right.
Because I'm a guy, and this is the last thing I'll say, is that I'm a guy that no matter what argument I get in, like someone could punch me in the face, and I'm like, did I deserve that? Like I start, am I wrong? I really think about it.
I think you have a little feminine side to you because I feel like all women do that. All women are like, I think that in some way.
I'm transitioning.
This was.
I'm transitioning into a lesbian.
You have the frosted tips.
Let's go, sweetie.
All right, follow us at Happy Never After Podcast on Instagram, H&A Pod on Twitter, and follow me directly at my last name that I'm using, at Mara Merrick. Love you guys. Later.
Bye.